The Wildcat Sports Club CNY Brewfest is coming up January 31st and February 1st at the New York State Fairgrounds. Taste your way through unlimited samples from more than 100 breweries. Now featuring hard ciders, seltzers, craft cocktails, and mocktails too. Grab your tickets now at cnybrewfest.com.
Interrupt your regularly scheduled program for this special report.
This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? Think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Make my voice loud. Make that guy's voice quieter, like this. Oh! Hello. What do you got? What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Here we are. So close to that end of the week. Friday afternoon, smack dab in the middle of the day, right here on ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1, live from Syracuse, New York. The Harding Mazzotti Studio. We're live. One more hour from a week to go, and then we head right on into the weekend. How are you guys? You make it through your Thursday evening? Yeah, you did, because you're here. It'd be weird if you're listening to me. Then I'd be a ghost. And if I'm a ghost or you're a ghost, and you got to tell me, them's the rules. Phone numbers if... Oh, my God, right over there. I was going to give the phone out, and then I get immediately... I get an immediate diss over at Q Sports Talk. That's fine, DJ. First time in the chat, first thing he says is Bret Hart sucks. No, that's fine. But that's just the kind of degenerates you'll get over in our Q Sports Talk chat. Very appreciative of you guys over there, though, hanging out all week long. And it has been a snowy week here, a snowy start to the new season. And yes, for our Q Sports Talk fans, Susan in there in the chat, Ace in there. Susan, yes, Josh did get home safe. Was he not supposed to? What happened? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he did. The phone number, like I said, in case you want to call and talk about any of the things, because, man, it's an unreal sports weekend, really anywhere, up in the Dome, on the TV. 315-437-7644. Talk about legit anything you want. Any of the playoff games, national championship game. I think there's crunch hockey tonight. Syracuse, Notre Dame up in the Dome tomorrow. Lots of fun stuff. I am pretty excited for this weekend and all of the things and all of the sports. Where is this? Where's my thing? I didn't load it. That's what happens. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, now I found it. But yeah, anyway, here we are on a Friday, just hanging out, getting ready for first things first. I guess would be Syracuse, Notre Dame up in the Dome. There's some college basketball on tonight, but, up in the Dome tomorrow, Syracuse, Notre Dame, which is where we will start. Let's go! Dun, dun, dun. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, technically, because I think unless the football game starts at 3 or 3:30, but they get first dibs. Syracuse Notre Dame 4 o'clock because I think the football game is at 4:30. So you get Syracuse Notre Dame, the first chance for Syracuse to get back onto their winning ways that we know that Syracuse can do. We know that Syracuse can win. We know this team is talented. It's just a matter of if all the pieces fall into place. Will they tomorrow, Notre Dame? Probably not. Let me tell you. What do we do? I don't know. Until you can prove me wrong, what am I supposed to do? Although it should be a good game. Hopefully, SU pulls out a win. I'm not rooting for a loss. That would be asinine, and that is when you make an ass out of yourself, right? Oh, that's when you assume you make an ass out of you and me. See what I'm saying there? But you had the coach's show last night, Coach Red, and he gives some good answers to stuff as well as he can. What's he going to tell you guys? What do you want him to do? Be like, yeah, I know, we're terrible. Blah. You guys are wild. You guys are crazy. Wild and crazy kids. But hey, yeah, it was a fun week. Other than the loss, it was a fun week. We've had Mad Pauly, Fat Up Steve. Mad Pauly has been the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, I forgot to save the Pauly update thing, I think, on my thing here for me. Because what we should do, you know what? I was gonna, we'll start with the coach's show from last night and some things from Red that I will steal from Orange Nation, and then some more things that I will steal from Orange Nation as Michael Carter-Williams joined Stephen Pauly today, and I actually like MCW. I'm a big fan of his. I liked his video game character when he was in the pros on where was it? What was it? Philly? Yeah, Philly and then Milwaukee. I remember playing with him, and then obviously Orlando for the end of his career. But we'll hear from him as well. But last night, Coach answering questions. I don't like this answer because I didn't really think about this until Brian Higgins of the 315 with Brian Higgins mentioned it, and I went, wait, Donnie can transfer? Donnie Freeman's going to lead? Oh, God.
I hope that you can afford the guys that you're returning back because it's just a market out there. It's just what it is. End of the season, your leading scorer, and he has 2 years left. You got to be able to retain him. You got to be able to retain him. Your best players, your best freshman, that's, a double-double guy. You got to be able to say if he doesn't go, be able to bring him back. Can you get him? Can you afford to keep him back? Because the calls are coming. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
Oh, boy. Although, personally, not the biggest fan of the can you afford him? I don't know. That should almost be secondary. Does he want to be here? Is he getting enough out of from the team that he wants to stay? The first thing shouldn't be, can we afford him? Is he being put into the position that he wants to stay? If the very first question we're asking about our athletes is, can we afford them, and not, are they happy in with the program, then son of a bitch, we are screwed. Pauly and a lot of other people are right. NIL is going to mess things completely up because that's insane. Can we afford him? Not, are we putting him in the right position right now to succeed and helping him mature in a way that he will come back? That one I'm not the biggest fan of. Not putting blame on anybody, but I mean, if we're talking money first, then, also speaks to, well, the person that would rather have money now, if they're so good, the money shouldn't be a problem right now. They'll get their money later. Let's worry about developing our game. But I digress. As Red digressed as well, he said revenue sharing should help them. I don't know.
As we get more information about it and more, transparency and more out there, I think people will really start to understand how you're still going to need community help and community funding and the collectors funding to be competitive. And again, I don't see why, I don't think it's going to be an issue as we move forward, as once this settlement thing happens, that you can start to kind of, get the program on great footing and being able to have the resources and being able to go out and then compete and get the best players.
And one more thing from Red is that every year he's not wrong with the way the NIL is and being able to retain players, I guess, whether or not it's because first thought is, are we paying them enough? Would be building a new roster every year. And yeah, for the most part, until they figure this out, you're going to probably have guys bouncing around every year and highest bidder wins. Ask Miami football with Carson Beck as the quarterback if you're going to be building a new roster every year. I mean, football, basketball, apples, oranges.
It's a lot of building teams and obviously dealing with, the finances and things like that. And I think everybody, Alex Hahn is our general manager. That's why I brought him in to kind of be able to kind of figure those things out and kind of build. And it's going to be like that every year, be like that every year, the retention piece of it and then trying to build around what you can retain. And sometimes you might not be able to retain the players that you want to retain.
Still talking about that. I don't know. I have a different feeling about that the first and second times that I'm hearing that answer from the coach. I don't know. I'll digress just because it's a Friday. I'm looking for happy times, right? Because that was coach answering questions as he does. And today, another guy answering questions now that is going to be asking like rhetorical questions and such because he's a big-time TV fella. Michael Carter-Williams joins Orange Nation today. I was a big fan of that. I like Michael Carter-Williams, one of my favorite Syracuse players. He's got a sick hairdo now, lots of facial hair, and he explained to the guys how he got the gig today.
How did you end up in this job? Because all of a sudden I'm sitting here one day and Michael Carter-Williams is hired by the ACC networks. What led you to this position and how did it come about?
Well, to be honest, I was doing the Orlando Magic radio games, and I was doing a lot of it was just a lot of in-game stuff, and I was having fun. It's good. I still do it from time to time, but then I was like, I want to see what it's like in the studio. So I started doing some research on what gigs can I get in the studio. I did some NBA TV stuff, and then ESPN had reached out, and I was supposed to go in for an interview with ESPN, but then we had the bad storm in Florida, so I couldn't go. So I actually missed my interview, and then one day they called and they're like, "Listen, we don't even want to do the interview process. We've got some of your film. We'd love to, offer you to do some ACC network stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
What's crazy about that, and good for Michael Carter-Williams, is if you interchange all that about doing interviews and then they said, "Don't worry, we've seen the film. We want to hire you on the spot, blah, blah, blah." It's actually how I got my OnlyFans page, but digress. Michael Carter-Williams, again, joining Orange Nation today. The whole thing up on, I think, the YouTube page and a lot of the social medias, this is him talking about old Jimmy B, who was also doing announcing stuff.
Now, Jim Boeheim, your former coach, is in a similar role. Have you chatted with him at all about, either the job or, all things basketball? You still keep in touch with Coach Boeheim?
Yeah, I actually talked to him the other day on air. It was good. He was doing I can't remember which game he was doing. But, him and I, we spoke. We caught up a little bit. So it's cool to see him on the other side of this world.
Yeah, he hated that side of the world for about 40 years.
No, I think he likes it now. It seems like he likes it.
I agree with Paulie. I am also just the tiniest bit bitter. I never cured the wrath of Jim Boeheim, but to watch him be such a delightful and jovial media member now. If I could tilt my head all the way upside down, I would. One last thing from Michael Carter-Williams, because you can get the whole interview if you'd like on all of ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1. All of the stuff up on our social medias. Our Twitter's got stuff at ESPN Syracuse. Our YouTube page has got things so you can check out this whole interview with Michael Carter-Williams as now he talks about the team as we wrap up just a little bit of a little preview of what he was talking about today on the show.
What do you make of what you've seen of late from the Orange?
Obviously we've had some, tough luck with some injuries. Freeman being out, JJ being out for a while, I think that really hurt us, and it was hard for us to catch a rhythm. So now you're kind of going through the same thing, right? Freeman being out, I'm looking forward to us full strength. I thought JJ coming back, I thought he gave, just an energy boost to the whole, program. It was looking real spooky for us for a little while, and then, we ran off 2 in a row. So, we'll see. I don't have, major high hopes for Syracuse right now. But, you can see the bright spots.
Yeah, and hopefully those bright spots come back next year based on the positions they will be put in, and then the bright spots also be coming in to play next year as well. Michael Carter-Williams again joining Orange Nation earlier today. You can get all the whole thing back on our social medias and YouTube page. Syracuse, Notre Dame up in the Dome after a tumultuous week here on Q Sports Talk. This poor Paulie. Let's do a little bit of Mad Paulie before we go to break, because we will never let this go away. This area, there's right there. He's in the window, and now he's talking. Oh, God.
It shows a total.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's pause that, because now we're doing Mad Paulie. What?
Who's mad?
Not now, but it's just the hashtag that I was using for, such things as...
Mad like a scientist?
Yeah, mad like a scientist. Definitely.
I love everybody.
He loves everybody. No, just some of the situations. No big deal. You're usually a happy-go-lucky fella that walks around here with a skip in his step. No, not so much. Go let your dog out.
I gotta go to the bank.
Go to the bank. Oh, wait for him to close the door to play when he yells at people. That way he doesn't yell at me, right? I think he's gone. All right, turn that off. There we go. Ready?
It shows a total lack of preparedness and undiscipline.
So Lucas Taylor's back hurts. Lucas Taylor's back hurts. Shut up for a second. Lucas Taylor's back hurts, and he's wearing a back brace, and that is unprepared?
Paulie, listen, let me tell you something.
I asked you a question. Lucas Taylor's back hurts, and he has a back brace on. That means the team is unprepared.
We've got a college.
Are you going to answer my question? I'm asking you a question. Lucas Taylor having got a back brace means he's undisciplined.
And he's now opening a restaurant in Syracuse.
Are you going to answer my question? All right, I'm done with you. Goodbye. Guys, you're grass. It sucks right now.
That's funny. I thought I stopped it at the Homer part, or started at the Homer part. I didn't. I thought I did. That was my fault. That was good. That was great. I loved it. I love it.
I have a friend in Washington who had never heard the term Homer before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She thought he called me something.
Oh, without the ER. I mean,
she goes, I had to go back and listen 3 times.
That would have been funny too, but. You're such a homer, Polly. You're such a homer. Oh my God. All right, let's and then the Commanders. I know that would actually be really funny to do if you could go around and just, like, you go to fucking Taco Bell and be like, oh, that was how you put the meat on my nachos, bro? Fuck. Fuck, as the kids say. Although I don't really agree with him. I don't know. I don't really agree with the whole, oh, we better hope we can afford to keep him. I don't know. Not my fault. Not my problem, bro. You figure that out. Play him a bunch. Oh, work. Oh. It's not my fault if he goes. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
Look at weekend, cause because weekends work.
This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Rock machines and laser rays. Weekend, cause here I come. Because weekends were made for fun.
And strip clubs. Oh, what? Who said that? Who said strip clubs? Let me know. What's up? ESPN Radio. Hello, ESPN Radio. Q Sports Talk, ESPN Radio Syracuse. 97.7 and 100.1. 315-437-7644. Hanging out. Thanks to dvoffers.com. Powered by Drivers Village in Cicero. Oh, and it's all over here. Oh, my God, it's all over here. There we go. All right, the Wildcat Sports Pub CNY Brewfest presented by Sweetgrass. I'm wearing a Sweetgrass shirt. And I have a Sweetgrass tattoo. You can guess what it is. Big sponsor of my Cocoa Puff show. But that's not this. This is the Wildcat Sports Pub. It's going to be a damn good time, man. The Horticulture Building at the Great New York State Fair. Friday VIP party, yes. But Saturday is the big party all day long. 2 sessions. They're going to put cheese inside a pepperoni, and then you can buy it. And you can buy it. I mean, yeah, you're going to want to do that. So go to cnybrewfest.com. Get yourself your tickets for that. February 1st, 2 sessions. Golden ticket gets you into either one. Whatever one you want. All right, let's run through some NFL playoffs. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's a Friday. Leave me alone. First up here, as you got Texans and Chiefs. And personally, myself, I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs until they give me a reason to pick against the Chiefs. And I know that that's crazy to say, like, yeah, but then you didn't pick them and then it doesn't count. I'll do it next year then. I'll pick against them next year because They played earlier this year. They met in, what is it? When the hell was that they met? Oh, I wrote it down and then I don't have it anymore. But week 16, there it is. So it wasn't that long ago that the Chiefs won 27-19. Patty Mahomes, 260 yards. C.J. Stroud had a couple of picks. Nothing really crazy noteworthy from that game. Tank Dell, 98 yards and a touchdown, but he is out for this one. So I would be hard-pressed to not pick the Chiefs for this just because, I mean, again, little things like the ref assigned to the game, 6-0 for the Chiefs when he refs for them.
I think Houston has a chance here, and because I'm not going to ignore what I just saw. I'm not going to ignore it. That pass rush was absolutely ferocious, and it wasn't just against the 5 offensive linemen. They kept shipping. You know, your superstar right tackle for the Chargers, I can't stand, is overrated as hell. But anyway, they couldn't block them. They could not block them. And so to me, yes, that's a problem. What's the Achilles heel for Kansas City's offense? Pass protection. This team, and I get it. I know they beat them by 8 points in the regular season in a game. I get it. But they look different. For some reason, something clicked to that football team, and they look different.
That was a Saturday game late in the year where Tank Dell had the terrible injury in that game.
I'm on the other side of you now. I mean, I don't think they have a chance.
Do you think it's a bye? Are they on a bye week?
I'm not going there now. I'm not doing that.
Hey, Joe Mixon, you want to smoke a Teddy Bruschi cigar this
week? They were
week?
rushing a statue in Herbert that was sitting there the whole time. This is Patrick Mahomes we're talking about. He's going to convert on every 3rd and 3 where you got man coverage and those guys are rushing up the field trying to get Mahomes. He'll get out of there. That's going to be the difference. Herbert had...
And I agree. He'll probably end up making those conversions that you get all angry about, and you're like, well, how did they just do it again? But they will. They absolutely will. You know they will. I would say the Chiefs. I mean, I don't see him scoring a ton of points. I could see like a 21-17 type deal where it looks closer than it is, 27-17. I'll go 27-17 Chiefs over the Texans. And then might be a game of the year. Game of the weekend, maybe, as the Commanders and the Lions go at it. David Montgomery will be back for this game for the Lions. They're going to need it. I've been giving my opinion on this game, and I've been saying that I think that the Lions can come out, touchdown, and the Commanders won't be able to hang. And would I be shocked if it was 35-17, 35-21? No, not at all. But if Jaden Daniels can keep that close, the Commanders will win this game. If they can keep it one score, Commanders win this game.
I hear people say teams are playing with house money. They can play loose, that kind of thing. I mean, no one expects Washington to win this game. They've already so greatly exceeded any expectation anyone realistically had for this team. Is that a real thing? Like, it's always felt to me, I never played, but I feel like if I'm in this game, I want to win it just as badly as the other guy does. Is there a real thing to playing with house money?
It's a different level of pressure when you look at the Lamar Jackson.
Well, the Lions.
Yes,
talk about
but I'm just saying in general, when you talk about some of these quarterbacks and some of these teams, you come into the season with such high expectations. There's a pressure that comes along with that. For the Commanders, you don't have that. But once you get in the dance, you better believe you're in it to win it. You're not saying, hey, well, if we lose, we had a great season. And when you talk about Jaden Daniels, we talk about the fourth quarter comebacks, we talk about all of the things he's been able to do. But I think it's the belief that he puts within this team and within this organization. Being a defender, when you don't have a quarterback, a guy at that position that you believe can go win the game, it is a deflating feeling when you give up a score. When you know no matter what point we're in the game, we still have a chance as long as there's time on the clock and we can get the ball back to Jaden Daniels, that changes the way a defense plays and the way everybody in an organization goes about the way they're doing it. And that was a moment.
That was the moment.
For the Commanders,
that's the moment that changed everything.
And you look at each other and you're like, we got a shot.
And that is kind of why I've gone back and forth all week, where, again, I'm saying it, I'll do a little cover my ass. Would I be shocked if the Lions win 40-24? No. But I think somehow these cardiac Commanders keep this damn thing close. Commanders 34, Lions 30, or Commanders 37, Lions 34. What do you think? That pretty good? Little upset action because I'm kind of going in line with what I think for some of my Super Bowl predictions. So I don't know. But that would be quite the upset. What a Saturday of football. We got a Sunday amount of football action to talk about after this as well. We come back on the sports show. Cody Mack, that's me. ESPN Radio 97.7, 100 boy, what? Oh, I didn't play that clip. Idiot. What did I just do to my folder? Oh my God, there we go. I'm an idiot. Jeebus. You split up. Hey, hey, you guys. So close to the weekend. What are you guys doing this weekend? Key Sports Talk? Chatters?
Yup.
I'm an animal. I'm sorry. Disgusting. Ryan, you're working, bud? Can you watch the games and stuff even while you're working? Ooh. Jeez, this is carbonated as fuck. Michael Steelhead fishing. As long as you can watch the games. As long as you guys can watch the games. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it. I was going to try to preview the national championship game a little bit because I'm not going to be here Monday. Big Poppy, smoking marijuana. Cops are on their way. Don't worry about that. They'll be here very soon, sir. Oh, boy. You're going to the Bills game, bro? DJ, you're going to the Bills game. I won't be here Monday for this show. I'll be in the morning, but there's a hockey game on Monday.
is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Look at weekenders. Because weekends were by the time Wednesday comes, I feel the beat and I wanna have fun.
Yeah! Friday thrust! Friday thrust! Friday thrust! Friday thrust! ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. Second half of the Sports Show with Josh Grossfat. 315-437-7644. If you feel like calling up and talking to me, you can do that. I don't mind. Guys. What I do mind, though, is if you don't listen to me right now and you don't get tickets to the Wildcat Sports Pub CNY Brewfest, there's going to be so many people there having fun. There's a lot of different other vendors other than just beers and stuff, but that's kind of the whole point, is that there's going to be over 150 beers at the Horticultural Building. Hard ciders and seltzers as well. I am a big fan of those. I like those, hard ciders and seltzers. I like those. I like a good hard cider. Remember back when hard ciders and Fireball were kind of just coming up, and there was that drink, they'd call it Angry Balls, and people would take Fireball and put it in an Angry Orchard. You'd order an Angry Balls. It's funny because that's like genitals. So it's hilarious. Not hilarious, again, if you don't get your tickets for this. CNYBrewfest.com. Ooh, it's going to have cornhole, too? I'm not good at cornhole. You think I'd be good at just hucking a sack into a hole, hang out with a lot of your moms every day? QSportsTalk.com. That is where Twitch is if you want to hop on over there and get ready. If at least not for me, for all the things on the way this weekend. Again, 315 with Brian Higgins comes your way in about a half an hour, and he'll get you SU ready for tomorrow up in the Dome against Notre Dame. But then, before SU and Notre Dame, up in the Dome tomorrow at 4, pop your little fannies right back over here, and then you can hear all sorts of more SU coverage, right? What the hell? What are we even doing? What are we even doing? All right, okay. This is ridiculous. All right, okay. So, moving on. We talked Saturday football. Sunday football is what you guys are all looking for. I know. It's actually these games today are repeats of earlier this year, as was Chiefs and Texans. The only game that's not a repeat, Commanders, Lions. So that's pretty cool. We'll go reverse order here. Rams and Eagles. I'm back and forth on this game. I'm trying not to let the fact that I hate the Eagles at 3 o'clock Sunday come into factor here. But the Rams defense gave up 314 rushing yards to the Eagles in Week 12, including that 255 to Saquon, where he could have had more. Saquon could have had more in that game, and a lot of people don't realize that or remember that. But I think the Rams have turned it around since then. And last week, in that win over the Vikings, the Rams had 8 different players with at least half a sack, and they're going to have to do that again and spread it out, and get into the backfield to try to contain Saquon. What I think might work in their favor a little bit for the Eagles is the fact that their run game is amazing, but this is almost, I've read, guaranteed to be a snow game. That's pretty awesome just to watch. So hopefully it's not a huge factor for the Rams, because I'm rooting for the Rams. But I think the Eagles win this. Why would I not? What would be different about this game than the time they met before, where it was like, 37-20? Honestly, I could see the exact same score, 34-20 for the Eagles. And then, bing, bing, bing. That's my ringing a bell. The main event. The main event, ladies and gentlemen. Sexy ladies and sexy gentlemen. The main event, Ravens, Bills, Sunday night Oh, my God. I am beyond giddy for this game. We had Chris Brown on K-Rock yesterday to talk a little bit about it, and couldn't be summed up any better than when Chris Brown talks about it. I'm so ready for this game, and I can't wait till Sunday. It's going to be freezing cold. That weather's going to be nuts. I don't know if it's going to be a snow game. Slight possibility. But here's Chris Brown talking about the biggest game in the history of football ever.
Joining us for his weekly visit, the voice of your Buffalo Bills, Chris Brown. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
I'm fantastic, and I got to say, you know how much I love when the radio guys get the respect that they're due. The video they ran before last week's game, all the highlights, the Bills highlights, was like 80% your voice, Chris. That was pretty cool, man. That was pretty cool to get some recognition.
We'll take it wherever we can get it.
I got to ask what the feeling was, because Cody and I talked about this after the game on Monday. Game starts, Denver scores 7, and the stadium got quiet. Where it was kind of like
air got let out real quick.
Yeah, like Bills fans were like, no, not again. And it just felt like not again. Did it feel like that when you were making the call?
I think I've been through enough of these, and I don't know what it was about last Sunday. But yes, look, believe me, I understand. But Bills fans have a lot of scar tissue.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I just felt very confident in the team last week. I don't know what it was. Just listening to the players all week last week, there was this quiet confidence about them. And I think enough of them have been through enough of these playoff runs where it's like, okay, they threw a punch. Now let's throw a counter punch. And so with so much game left, I wasn't all that bothered by it. I really didn't feel it was going to be an issue for them.
Yeah, and obviously we know the outcome of that. And then we move on to this week, and this week makes me nervous. So let's get into this week's game. First of all, let's talk injuries. I saw a couple offensive guys who are on the injured list. Who's going to be at least monitored or injured off this games this week?
Yeah, so Alec Anderson, who is their 6th offensive lineman in the jumbo packages, he's day-to-day with a calf injury that he suffered in last week's game. He actually left the game, came back in later, and then exited again. So we'll have to keep an eye on that because last week against the Broncos, they ran more jumbo O-line plays than they had all season. They basically played bully ball with the Broncos, and it worked. That's a little tougher to do with the Ravens, who have a bigger front in terms of size. So I don't know if that's something they'll turn to as much, but he's the guy that's been in that role all season long. So hopefully he can get to a place by the end of the week where he can still fill that role. The good news is Brandon Codrington, who missed last week's game, their primary return man with a hamstring injury, is good to go. So keeping him out of last week's game allowed him to heal up. So he'll be ready for this one, so that's good news.
It's going to be cold, too. It's going to be one of those really cold games, but I don't feel like that impacts Baltimore. I mean, they're not a Florida team. They're not going to be that impacted by it, right?
No, and Lamar really hasn't struggled in cold weather at all, even though he's a South Florida native himself. The only thing that gets tricky when it gets down to the single digits, which is where it's supposed to be at kickoff at 6:30, is everything gets very dry and the ball gets slick, which sounds counterintuitive, but the ball is harder to hold on to when it's that cold because your hands are dry. And even if you have those sticky gloves, they don't get it. They lose their tack, so to speak, when it gets that cold. So even the gloves don't work as well as they typically do. And the turf, the artificial surface gets slick also. So there's going to be some decisions to be made for a lot of players in terms of gloves, no gloves, and what kind of cleats they're wearing to see what can get a grip on an artificial surface that does get slick when it gets that cold.
So what kind of info have you heard from Coach this week? How have they prepared for, I mean, Derrick Henry and Lamar are just two real big challenges that you're going to have to face. Yeah. What are they doing to get ready for those guys?
Well, I mean, it certainly helps, I think, that they've already played them once this season because, excuse me, for a lot of teams that play them for the first time, you can watch them on film all you want. When you get on the field with them, it's like, whoa, like you need to adjust. And having gone through that adjustment period already for the balance of the roster, I think that helps. I think we also have to remember that Terrell Bernard, Taron Johnson, and Matt Milano did not play in the Week 4 game. That's the entire second line of Buffalo's defense that did not suit up for the Week 4 game. That will help. But I'm wondering, the thing to keep an eye on here is, does Sean McDermott and defensive coordinator Bobby Babich turn to some unconventional package to try to neutralize that seemingly unstoppable run game? You don't want to let them get ahead of steam, because once they do, it's like a boulder coming downhill. Good luck stopping it.
We're talking to the voice of your Buffalo Bills, Chris Brown. One thing I got to give the Bills credit for is that adjustment. You just said adjustment. I think it was one play last week where clearly Josh didn't like what he saw, calls the timeout, goes over to Sean, and they adjust. And that just seems to be what they do on the spot, live in game every week.
Yeah, it's kind of the MO of the league now. I mean, 25 years ago, you made halftime adjustments and that was it. Now coaches have to make adjustments down to down, series to series as the game unfolds. You really have to, you go in with a game plan, obviously, but it's always subject to change. It's subject to contingency plans. And that's why I'm so interested to see what they have in store, you know, for a run game that really no one has been able to completely stop. Philadelphia did a good job a few weeks back, but they have a gigantic defensive front with all those Georgia kids up on the defensive line. The Bills may go with, you know, their biggest beef, whether it's Jordan Phillips at 340 pounds. I mean, heck, why not line up 4 defensive tackles across the front, put a couple of edge guys on the outside and say, go throw the ball, Lamar, throw it, because we're not going to let you run it down our throat. I'm very curious to see what the plan is.
So before I let you go, Chris, we know how Baltimore's going to put points on the board. What is the Bills' attack this week for them to put points up on the board? Because you're going to do your best to stop the Baltimore Ravens, but you gotta keep pace with them. What are they going to go to this week?
Yeah, so I think they ideally want to stay balanced. They definitely do, because when they run the ball 50% of the time or more in Josh Allen starts, they are 34-0. So staying balanced is key. Now, they ran the ball for 200 yards against the number 3 run defense in the league last week. Now they're facing the number one run defense in the league this week. They only give about 80 yards on the ground, but they have to find a way to run the football. And then Brandon Stevens is the weak link in the Baltimore secondary. He has been victimized every single week. I think they target him and try to go after him. Let's not forget, Amari Cooper was not on this roster the last time the Bills played the Ravens, and Keon Coleman was a wet behind the ears rookie. So those 2 players, I think, could factor in big here for some jump ball plays in the end zone.
It's going to be a hell of a game. I can't wait to watch it. Of course, you can hear it right here on K-Rock, Sunday at 6:30. Chris will have your call. Have a great call, Chris, and I really hope we're talking next Thursday, bud.
Same.
Yeah, me too.
Take care. See you. Chris Brown joins us for his weekly call. Hopefully we get another one next week from him.
I don't know. I think I'm trying to not root for the Bills with my heart and think about it with my head, because I honestly think the Ravens have the better team. They won 35-10 a couple weeks back, and they really shut them down. Derrick Henry is just an animal on a mission, but I don't know. Bills... Buffalo Bills, 27-24, Bills going on. The Bills win. Evando, it's not even my interview. I was there, but I suck at interviews. That was all Josh. I suck at that. But he was on with us at K-Rock in the morning. I want you guys to hear. You Bills nerds, you're getting close to what might be a Super Bowl victory. As a Dallas Cowboy fan who has 3 of them under my belt in my lifetime, I want you guys to experience the same type of glory. Please, nobody hit me. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Why can you not? Why does this do that? What the fuck? Oh, Govendo, you son of a fucker. Oh my God, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Gotta be a good dad. My dad does. I don't know. I had a joke. I had a dead dad joke there, and I lost it immediately. I'm sorry. Gotta be a good dad. I gotta go to. My dad participates in every one of my Cocoa Puff streams Thursday. He sits and watches and doesn't interrupt me at all. Oh, I'm the worst. Oh. My God, is this another one of those commercials with that lady? She's hawking 11 waters, then she's hawking sweet on chocolates at me. Oh, my God. If I had a Valentine, I'd have to get him sweet on chocolate, and then take him to 11 waters, apparently, based on this young lady's recommendations.
Look at weekend because weekends were. All you ladies, grab your man. Stomp your feet and grab your man.
This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Hey, that's me. I know that guy. All right, everybody. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. Another amazing week. Hanging out with you guys. Get ready for the 315 with Brian Higgins. He is up next. And he's going to hang out with you, getting you ready for Syracuse, Notre Dame. I'm in the Dome tonight and tomorrow because the game's tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Little reminder, though, Monday, because I'm not going to be here, Monday night national championship game, Ohio State, Notre Dame. I think if Notre Dame's defense can play the most lights-out game in the history of the world, not only will Notre Dame win the national championship, but then Marcus Freeman will take off to the Bears and be their coach. But I don't think that happens because that's crazy. I think Ohio State wins too much offense. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy all of the NFL playoffs. Enjoy the college basketball. Enjoy Syracuse, Notre Dame up in the Dome. I will talk to you Tuesday. Enjoy Monday off if you have it. If not, enjoy everything. Love you guys. It's Cody Mack. It's the Sports Show. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. Hoy, whoa!